Friends, welcome to this channel. This is the 7th part and we were solving the question paper of UPSC Architecture and Planning came for the position of Deputy Architect in 2015. If you haven't subscribed, please support us and also check our previous videos. I am Rahul and you are watching Architecture and Planning with Rahul. So let's begin. We will start with the first question. In residential building, dados can be provided in. So dados are nothing but tiles laid on the lower portion of the wall, and it is different from upper wall or upper portion of the wall. So let's understand it with a diagram. This is our upper portion and this is the lower. So these are the laid tiles. And we generally used in our bathrooms. So this is known as the dado tiles. These tiles are very common in toilets, kitchens, and we sometimes use in staircase. So the correct answer of this question will be any spaces where this is need to protect the wall surface. Option number D. Other than this, there is also a important word related to tiles, that is skirting, which we used in corner surfaces to protect it from moisture or water. So this is known as skirting, and this is dado tiles. Our next question is the garden design based on spiritual concepts are. So Japanese gardens are generally based on spiritual concepts. So the correct answer is option number A. Japanese gardens are basically two types, dry or wet. In dry, they generally use less water in the landscape, and Japanese gardens have some basic elements like concealment, which is related to hiding something and revealing. So this is their main focus point. They are asymmetrical in shape. Then they use elements like water, stones, rocks and sand, stone lantern, fences, gates, trees and flowers, and also fishes. So let's see an image. So this is a Japanese garden. It is a wet type where you can see a lot of greeneries. Also they use a bridge to cross a small river like structure, and they use a lamp here, and also small large trees, and rock is an essential element of their garden style. Now let's see some other options. Mughal garden are generally square in shape, and they are divided in generally 4 parts known as charbagh. So their garden looks something like this. In end or in center, they generally used to place monument. So let's see an image. This is Baghe Babur. This is first Charbagh garden built by Barber. So here you can see that it has a drainage system. It divides the garden into two parts, and here you can see a fountain. And in this garden they use tree in such a way that it looks a flat from the top of the garden. For example, here in the lower part of the contour they use higher trees, and when you go up they use small trees, so it looks flat when you look aerially. Let's move to the next question. According to Christian Norberg's culture, to become a true form, the street has to possess. So, as per Christian Norberg's culture, the statue or monument is an essential element of a street to distinguish from one to another. So this is the reason why we generally use statues in chalk or street. So the correct answer of this question is figural character. And in India, it is very common that we used to nomenclature our street on the name of the great peoples of India, like Gandhi Chowk, Indira Chowk, Jawahar Chowk, Patel Chowk, Kalam Chowk, etc. These are some examples which is very common. And Norberg said this in his book named The Dynamics of Architecture Form. Architectural forms. Apart from this, he also wrote some important books like Intentions in Architecture, Existence, Space and Architecture, also Baroque Architecture. And one of his famous book is Genius Loci. Now let's move to the next question. Plumeria alba belongs to which of the following category of softscape? So Plumeria alba is a evergreen shrub like small tree. So the correct answer is option number A, tree, and it is very small type. Next question is which of the following Indian trees is evergreen? So the correct answer of this question is mango tree. Let's see the scientific name of some of the famous tree. Mango is known as Magnifera indica. Subahbul is a type of tamarind and its scientific name is Leucana leucocephala. Bahava is Cassia fistula. Gulmohar is Dalonyx regia. Apart from this, there are Ashoka, which is known as Sarka Ashoka. Salt tree is Sorea robusta, and neem is known as Azadi recta indica. So these were some common names and scientific names of some important trees. which generally asked in our gate exam. Our next question is, which pattern of layout is most commonly seen in Mughal gardens? So it is the Charbagh, and we have seen a Charbagh example in our previous question, so you can refer that also. So in Charbagh, it is generally a square type of garden, and drainage system divides the garden into 4 parts, 1, 2, 3, and monument is generally placed at the center. But in case of Taj Mahal, it is located in the bank of Yamuna river in the very north part. Now let's move to the next question. The art of clipping plants and trimming foliage to develop and maintain clearly defined shape is called. So the correct answer of this is topiary. In topiary, we generally clip or trim the plant so it can grow very fast. Also, there are few terms. These are also important. So you can look the meaning of this. This is the budding, grafting, and layering. It is related to trimming or growing the plant into certain way. So you can look the meaning of these three words also. Next question is, X cracking will occur in the pier of masonry wall because. So X cracking looks something like this. Suppose this is the crack in the wall, and it is very common type of crack occurs on the wall. This is our wall. So this happens because the masonry wall are very weak in taking the tension load. So the correct answer is option number C. Let's go to the next question. Which of the following characteristics should a structure possess to earthquake responsive building? So ductility is most important in response to the earthquake, and ductility is ability to bend up to certain point or level. Our next question is, liquefaction is a case where the soil will have. So liquefaction is a process in which loose granular soil below the groundwater level, it temporarily loses its strength during strong earthquake shaking, and then it behaves like a liquid, a solid liquid or a paste. So this is liquefaction, and in such a case they have very little strength and they act like liquid. So the correct answer of this question will be option number D, very little strength and will behave more like a liquid than a solid. Next question is, epicenter is. So this we have seen in previous question, so you can check our last video. So suppose this is the surface of earth and this is the point where the earthquake is started, so it is known as hypocenter, and exactly above this on the surface of earth epicenter is located. So the correct answer is option number C, the point on the earth's surface directly above the focus. Next question is, strike slip fault is a condition when. So in earthquake there are three types of slips that are very common. First is strike. So let's understand it with a diagram. Suppose this is one part of plane and this is another part. So in this case the movement is happening like this, horizontal movement. So this is strike slip in which movement is horizontal. In normal slip the movement occurs in downward. So suppose this is one land, and in this case the movement is downward, so this is normal slip. And in thrust slip the movement happens upward. So this is going upward and this is not moving, this is in his place and this part is going upward. So in thrust the movement is upward. Question number 93 is intensity of earthquake is measured by MSK scale and it refers to, so the full form of MSK is Medvedev Sponier Karnik. So MSK has 12 intensity levels or degree, and these scales are used in India, Israel and Russia. Other than this, there are 2-3 scales that are used worldwide. The very common is Richter scale, MSK scale, Shindo scale. Now let's see next question. So vibroflotation is generally a technique used to improve soil up to a considerable depth and that is done by electrical or hydropower, and this method is used to reduce the liquefaction hazards. So what is soil liquefaction? It is occurs like this. Suppose this is our building and this is the land. So because of earthquake it moves downward from this point. So our building collapse very easily. So to reduce this kind of hazard we use vibroflotation technique. Let's go to the next question. In seismic evaluation, RVS refers to, so the full form of RVS is rapid visual screening. So it is a sidewalk survey method where a screen is visually examine a building to identify the features that affect the seismic performance of building. So it examines the building into certain points such as building type, seismic zone, what is condition of soil, then its horizontal and vertical irregularities, and what is the quality of masonry due to which the building is collapsed. So this is examined by rapid visual screening or RVS. Our next question is the amount of ground displacement in an earthquake is called, so it is known as slip, as we discussed in previous question, and generally Richter scales are used for measure the magnitude of earthquake. So friends, that's it for the today's video. If this video is helpful, please give a like, also subscribe the channel. मिलते हैं आपसे अगले वीडियो में. Until then, goodbye.